Madame Kallas, we've heard a lot of nice words about Ready for Europe. But now what is the next step? Is the European Union really ready to step up with potential financial support, long-term, short-term?
We are in the discussions, what can we do? Because free media and access to information is very important to European Union. But of course, we have a lot of organizations, a lot of countries behind our doors because of America is pulling out the support and everybody's asking us to fill the void. It's clear that we can't do it everywhere, so we really need to discuss what is the plan, how we cover.
Speaking about America, today the new tariffs on cars, 25%, enters into force. How will the EU respond, and what do you think they say about the transatlantic relationship right now?
Well, so far as our trade people are really interacting with the Americans, so they don't really know what is exactly coming. So they are the statements we see, but what are the real actions? So if the real actions come, we also have a plan ready. But what I want to stress is that there are no winners in trade wars. It raises the prices, and in the end, the consumers get to pay for these products a higher price, and this is not wise. So I still hope that we are not starting this trade war.
Alexander Stubb, when he was in America recently, talked about potential full ceasefire in the war on 20th of April. Do you think this is feasible? Can that be done?
So far, Ukraine has been agreeing to ceasefire already 3 weeks ago, and we haven't seen any positive signs from Russia's side. So they are just playing games. I think it could be very good to put them a clear deadline when they have to answer what is their standing, and to really show some goodwill that they also want peace. It's clear that the Ukrainians want it.
So Mr. Dimitrov, one of the Kremlin negotiators, is probably due in Washington fairly soon. Would you like to speak with him as well, or do you think the EU should negotiate with him as well?
For Ukraine has to negotiate with Russia. It can't be done by anybody else because it's about Ukraine and it can't be without Ukraine. I think this is extremely important. When it comes to European security, then of course we need to discuss amongst ourselves with our allies how we arrange this.
But are you or the European Union or any European country also ready to discuss directly with Moscow?
When it comes to the real negotiations that are about Europe, I think what is important to keep in mind is that Russia shouldn't have a say in the way we have our security arrangements, because Europe is not attacking Russia. Russia has been attacking its neighbors. So therefore, we are discussing our security arrangements. But when it comes to negotiations about Ukraine, then clearly Europe must be around that table, because it also concerns us what is the result of this. And any deal can't work without the implementation of the Europeans.
So will you speak about this with Mr. Rubio when he is in Brussels in the coming days?
We have spoken about this already before. I mean, when we had the meetings in G7 in Canada, and definitely we will talk about this. And it's very clear that what Europeans have in the hand, the sanctions are put forward by the European Union. Then we have the training mission to train Ukrainian soldiers and a civil mission in Ukraine. And we also have the EU enlargement process that concerns Ukraine.
When it comes to Mr. Netanyahu's visit in Hungary, an EU member state, yesterday, how do you see that? What is your concern about that? And are you worried that maybe other ICC-wanted people might come to the EU? I'm thinking especially about the Russian leadership.
The member states are parties to the Rome Convention, what is regarding the ICC. So it is up to the member states to also implement the decisions of the ICC and the obligations that they have taken. It's clear that it is important to have the credibility of the ICC, and the European Union supports ICC in every possible way.
So we cannot rule out that maybe Putin will be an EU member state soon then if the EU doesn't uphold the convention?
EU does, but the problem is that EU is not the member of the convention. It's the member states. So the member states also have to implement. If a person comes to their territory, they also have to implement the ICC decisions.
So you're going to Western Balkans next week. What do you think about the protests we currently see in all across Serbia? And are you ready to convene a Serbia-Kosovo dialogue on the highest level soon?
When it comes to protests, then, it is democracy. I mean, we have it in our EU member states that people get tired of governments and protests. That shows that the democracy is working. When it comes to Kosovo and Serbia dialogue, or Belgrade-Pristina dialogue, then I have appointed a new special representative who is with whom I actually sit down to see what is the future. What is in our interest is the normalization of the relations between Kosovo and Serbia, whether it is via this dialogue process or any other instrument. We will just, gather ideas and come up with the proposals.
So it might be something else than the dialogue.
It seems a bit that the dialogue is a bit stuck because the parties just, are complaining about each other. I think we have to keep the end goal in mind, the normalization of their relationship, so that they could both proceed in their European path. So maybe it's the dialogue, or maybe it's as another tool. I'm willing to look into it, and I will, together with the special representative in coming days.
And finally, on Georgia, you saw now that there is amendments to the foreign agent law. There's also a broadcasting law. What do you first think of these amendments? And secondly, do you have still any leverage when it comes to Georgia?
This is extremely hard. I mean, the situation that is ongoing there is extremely hard. What we know is that the Georgian people, the majority of Georgian people really supports European Union, and that Georgia would join the European Union. It's, however, not the path that the government has taken. So the question for us is what tools we have in our toolbox really to help. What we have done is to help the NGO and civil society. So the funds that we had for the government, we have redirected them to the civil society to help them to really go on the European path.
But is there anything more concrete towards the government as such? I mean, sanctions didn't work. Is there something else?
We have to have the agreement by 27 countries, and that is a problem here. So we are still working on these things that we could do. We did the visa requirement for the diplomatic passports, but we are constantly discussing what more can we really do.